Hello and welcome. My name is Jamie Upson. I'm one of the partners here at Stonehearth Capital Management, and I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you a couple of changes that have happened within Congress that the President signed on November 2nd. In particular, it applies to some popular claiming strategies that we've used for a lot of our clients, and unfortunately they're being phased out, and I want to go over that with you so that if it applies to you, you're just informed, and this kind of information is super important when you're trying to determine your claiming decisions. Stay tuned at the end because there is going to be a required disclosure statement. So let's start right in with what are the two changes? The first change is what we call filing for a restricted application for spousal benefits, sometimes just known as restricted application. The second one is file and suspend. Let's start with the restricted application. First, let's talk about spousal benefits. I have a choice when it comes to spousal benefits. I can either turn on my own Social Security benefits, or I may have the option to utilize spousal benefits. And a lot of that decision is dependent upon your age when you want to turn on Social Security benefits. Let's talk about those people that are under full retirement age that want to turn on Social Security benefits. For starters, if you're under full retirement age, we all know that you're going to take a reduced benefit. So you have to take that into consideration. When you go to apply for Social Security benefits, if your spouse is already collecting benefits, then Social Security will go through a calculation to determine, are your own benefits higher than what you'd be entitled to under spousal benefits? And Social Security automatically gives you the higher of the two. Just remember that once that is turned on, you can never change those benefits. They'll be locked in and set in stone forever. The other scenario is if you're at or older than full retirement age. And here there's a little twist where you actually do have a choice to restrict your application for Social Security benefits to either spousal benefits or your own benefits. You get to tell them which one you want. Now, in most scenarios, you end up turning on and restricting the application to spousal benefits. And what that does is that allows your own Social Security benefit, your retirement benefits, to continue to grow. And if you wait until age 70, that has the ability to grow up to 132%, which is pretty impressive. That's about an 8% increase per year that your Social Security would grow by. And the cool part about this is if you are also collecting spousal benefits, Social Security is willing to pay you while you wait to turn on your own benefits. In order to be eligible for filing a restricted application, you must be 62 years of age by year-end 2015. So that's this year. We've got a couple of weeks left. So if you're going to be over 62, you're automatically grandfathered in to have the ability to file a restricted application. Remember, if you're going to turn on benefits prior to full retirement, this decision's made for you. Filing a restricted application has nothing to do with your scenario. Really, this only focuses on those people that want to turn on benefits at full retirement, and in particular want to look into doing a spousal benefit and only collect spousal benefit. As I mentioned, there's no action that needs to be taken at this time. Just meeting the age criteria is what preserves your ability to have this option in the future. The second one that I want to go over is file and suspend. File and suspend works very nicely with restricted applications, or at least it has in the past, and this too is being phased out. So what is it? Filing and suspend is something that you need to do in order for your spouse to be able to be entitled to spousal benefits. So for example, if I wanted to turn on my own spousal benefits and be entitled to spousal benefits, my wife has to already have turned on her Social Security benefits. So what happens if my wife doesn't want to turn on those benefits? She wants her own Social Security benefits to earn delayed credits, and she might not want to turn hers on until 70. Well, as long as she is age 66, she has the option to go to Social Security or go online and file for benefits, but then suspend the benefits right away. So she never actually receives a payment based on her own Social Security benefits because she's deferred it, she's suspended it until a later time. What that does, though, is that gives me the ability to have the option to collect spousal benefits. If I'm under full retirement, that option is made for me by Social Security. If I'm at or older than full retirement, then I actually get to choose whether I want to apply for just spousal benefits, which again is about 50% of what my spouse is entitled to, or I could always turn on my own and then we'd have nothing to do with spousal benefits. The choice is yours. And many times you have to go through a pretty complicated analysis or detailed analysis to help optimize the scenario. What I'd like to do right now is go through a couple of examples, because I know this stuff is complicated and there's a lot of moving parts to it. So let's take a look at Arthur and Joanne. And Arthur and Joanne in this example are both 66 years of age. What takes place is Arthur really had the goal of delaying his Social Security benefits until age 70 because he wanted the maximum amount that he could be entitled to, which is also important because when he passes, if he passes first, his spouse is also going to get that delayed, that large benefit that he waited for. So what happens if Joanne says, yeah, but Arthur, I'd really like to turn on some income now. I need some income. Well, remember, if Joanne is entitled to her own benefits, she can always turn that on at any age, and that doesn't impact anything. But if she wants to turn on spousal benefits because maybe she wants her own Social Security benefits to also continue to grow, and maybe she didn't want to touch them until 70, well, then what we need is for Arthur to file and suspend. So in this example, Arthur, at age 66, he files and suspends, and Joanne applies for spousal benefits. She continues to collect those spousal benefits forever. If she restricted the application, she has the option to switch to her own if that does result in a higher benefit later on in life. But the key is that Arthur was able to allow his wife to turn on spousal benefits, and he didn't have to turn on his own, and he could earn delayed credits. Again, this is the prior law now. It is still available also as long as both of them are age 66, or in this example, Arthur has to at least be 66 because he's the one that's going to file and suspend. And if Joanne wants to file at 66 for a restricted application, she just needs to be age 62 by year end this year to qualify for that ability. The next slide that I want to show you is what if they're sort of in between? What if neither one is 66, but they are both over age 62? Well, we lost the ability to file and suspend because that's the 66 cutoff, and you really have to hit that by April 29th, 2016. So if Arthur doesn't meet that cutoff, then the whole ability to file and suspend goes out the window. It's not an option any longer. So what could they do? Remember, because they're both over age 62, in particular Joanne, she's still allowed to file for a restricted application for spousal benefits, but remember, Arthur has to have turned his benefits on, and he didn't want to until age 70. So now one option is for him to change that goal and turn on his benefits at 66. And that would also entitle his spouse, give her the ability to file a restricted application, or she could always turn on her own. The other option is for Arthur to delay turning on his Social Security benefits until 70. This kind of puts Joanne in a pickle. She's not entitled to spousal benefits yet because he hasn't turned his on. She can turn on her own as long as she's entitled to her own benefits at 66. If she's not, then really the only choice that she has is to wait until Arthur turns his on at 70, and then at her age 70, because they're the same age, she would have the ability to turn on spousal benefits. In the final slide for Arthur and Joanne, we'll pretend that they're 60 years of age. At 60, both the file and suspend and restricted application go out the window. So it's pretty clean from the point of view that Arthur, he either turns his benefit on at 66 or he delays it until 70. That's the choice. Again, his goal was to delay benefits until 70, so maybe he doesn't turn them on at 66. If he does that, Joanne is not entitled to spousal benefits. It's not part of the equation yet. So if she really wanted benefits when she turned 66, she would really only be entitled to her own. Remember, Social Security will automatically give her the higher of the two of her own benefit or spousal benefits as soon as her spouse turns on his benefit at 70. The second example that I'd like to go over is Mark and Anna. And we'll pretend that they are also age 66 right now and have some claiming decisions ahead of them. One option is Mark, who was the higher wage earner, would like to delay turning on his own Social Security benefits to age 70. That will maximize his own Social Security benefit, which again, remember, by doing that, and collecting a larger benefit, that is also preserved for his spouse through widow benefits if he were to pass away before his spouse. So that's, again, one of the reasons why a lot of people do like, or some people do like, to delay their own benefits and maximize at least one of the spouse's benefits. In this example, Anna wants to turn on her own benefits at age 66. Now, if she does that, she's just going to collect that benefit forever. It's pretty straightforward. There's no delayed credits, there's no file and suspend, there's no restricted application. She's just going to turn on her own benefit. For Mark, though, Mark would like to collect half of his wife's benefit, which he's allowed to do under the restricted application procedures. We don't need to do a file and suspend here because Anna wants to turn on her own benefits. So in this scenario, Mark can collect 50% of Anna's benefit, and at age 70, Mark has the ability to then turn on his own benefit, which should have grown about 132% compared to his age 66 own Social Security benefit. So that was the old rules, and this is still the new rules, provided that Mark in this scenario is over age 62, which he is by year-end 2015 this year. So the second scenario that I'd like to go over is, once again, what if they're stuck in between? What if they're under age 66 but over 62? Well, that doesn't change anything in this example because we're not trying to do any file and suspend. Anna said that she's okay collecting her own benefit. We're not trying to grow hers any further. We really want Mark's to grow. And while we wait to turn on Mark's, he can collect half of Anna's. And that's not a problem because, once again, in this example, he's 64. And as long as you're over age 62 by year-end 2015, he's allowed to file the restricted application. The final example that I want to show you is, what if they're both 60 years of age and they don't meet either of the cutoffs? Well, we can't do file and suspend. We can't do restricted application. Anna still wants to turn on her benefits at 66. And Mark wants to turn his on at 70. Unfortunately, he's not going to have the ability from 66 to age 70 to restrict an application for spousal benefits. If Mark really wants to turn on any kind of benefits at 66, he has to turn on his own. That's the trade-off, and that's one of the drawbacks of the changes that have just taken place. Again, the cutoff for file and suspend, it's age 66 by April 29, 2016. For restricted applications, you need to be 62 by the end of 2015. I know that this stuff is complicated. You know, at this point, it almost feels like it's as clear as mud. This is something that our firm specializes in. We do retirement planning for all of our clients, and claiming decisions when it comes to Social Security is one of the more important areas that we need to address because it has to deal with a lot of cash flow issues, and it also has impacts on their portfolio. There's a lot of tools, which fortunately this is good. There's a lot of tools out there that will help you analyze the different claiming decisions. I think the only flaw with any of them is that they're in a bubble by themselves. They're not taking into consideration the impact that it has on people's portfolios and or net worth. So if I decided to delay my own Social Security benefits until age 70, then that means I need to supplement my income, and I might have to do that from portfolio. That obviously has an impact on the portfolio and net worth, and the only way that you can really analyze all of those moving parts together is through a full-blown financial plan, which is something that we help our clients with. If you're interested or you have any questions, please reach out to us. I'd be happy to help. Thank you again for joining me.